the 26th of February, and I just realized we only have 2 days remaining of this month. Well, 3 if you include today as well. Like, how did that happen? Which means I have to do a lot of administration today and make sure that you guys know what we're doing next month, which we have chatted about. So we can chat a little bit today about what we're doing in the BSA club, and the title of this month. Is my camera like skew-iffy, or is it just everything that is skew-iffy? Let's have a look. I'm just gonna figure out how. Oh no, I think it's okay. I'm gonna zoom in anyway in a minute. Plans on cleaning my desk as well as getting everything, all the information out to you. So if you are wondering what we are doing, I will let you know. But today we are drawing Bertha Von Suttner, and I have done a very pretty version of Bertha Von Suttner. I think I have made her probably well, a lot younger. So I did pull up a photo of Bertha that I may be using as well. So I will see. This is the image that I drew from, but you can see I did something with her face and refined it a little bit, and I think, yeah, anyway, I don't mind the sketch that I did, but it doesn't really look like her. So yeah, I have to adjust a few things. So with my paint, hopefully I will be able to adjust using the photo as well. Good morning, C. How are you? So that's who I'm painting today. I will tell you a few facts about Bertha as we go. Family February is still being done and painted by many. I finished mine, and I said yesterday that I was going to do a flip through, so maybe while everybody is joining I will do a flip through. Yesterday we had a session, and the replay is in the Padlet. If people didn't get that Padlet, then I can share that if you're part of our BSA group. We went back to Oaxaca yesterday and did some quick sketches and paintings from photos that I had taken. This one, I forgot to share this one at the end of our session, but yeah, I think Lisa was saying how she didn't get much done in this image, but there was a lot going on in the image, so I also just very simplified it a lot. It was of a girl who was having her quinceañera. And then this was a tree up at Monte Alban in Oaxaca. And you guys have seen the flip through of my book. But this one we also did. This was of, I want to say his name was Jose, but I have it written down as well. So I will find his name and put that on there as well. And then this was the library. It was a fantastic library. It was an art library at the Graphic Institute in Oaxaca. If you haven't been and you're going to Oaxaca, you have to go to this library as well. So, oh, I have been hanging up my little portraits. So I'm going to go grab them so that you can see what we've got so far. So on day one, we did Florence Nightingale. So we're doing I'm doing 100 peacemakers. Everybody's doing kind of different things for the 100-day project. And then St. Francis d'Assisi, and my mind is going blank and I didn't put her name on the back. Where's my mind? Maria Montessori, sorry. And then this guy's name I cannot pronounce his name, but he was also called the Poet King, or somebody said another name for him, and I should probably look that up. Hang on a second. There was another name that he was also called. How is your 100-day project going? I mean, it's day 5 today, so that is the Hungry Coyote. Apparently, that's what it is. What his name is in his language, the Hungry Coyote. So let me grab the picture of Bertha Von Suttner and we can get started, because I really do want to finish her today. I have chosen to do it on a green canvas, and we'll talk a little bit about, I have facts of, I printed out a whole list of facts for her. I think I may do this for all of them actually. It helps me as we go, because chatting and painting, not always difficult, but when you're talking about facts and trying to remember them, it's good to have them written down. My colors need, I think, replenishing in some areas, but I think we're going to be okay for today. So this is who we are painting. I did do a sketch, but I don't think I'm going to go by the sketch. I mean, it could be her when she was younger. What do you think? Similar. The nose is a little bit different. Yeah, I think it could be her when she's younger. Oh, C says, I'm a bit ahead on the 100 days. That rarely happens. I think, yeah, I think you started, well, you haven't stopped your 100 days. So what are you on, 335 or something like that? Good morning, Meryl. Good morning, good morning. Okay, I'm going to zoom in slightly. I hope that is okay with you guys. And we'll get Bertha Von Suttner started. What an incredible lady. So in 1905, Bertha became the first female Nobel Peace Prize laureate, which is different from a Nobel Peace Prize winner. She helped legitimize the peace movement internationally, which was incredible. She's from Austria. Oh, she's actually from Prague, an Austrian empire, not the Czech Republic. So she's not from Austria. So she was from Prague. And yeah, she influenced Alfred Nobel, who the Peace Prize is I guess, he brought the Peace Prize to play and to honor many people. And I can't remember how many Peace Prize winners there have been since then. But she worked briefly as Alfred's secretary, and their correspondence is believed to have influenced his decision to create the Nobel Peace Prize. So that's kind of cool. Good morning. Hello, Michelle. Hello. Yay, Bertha, Michelle says. Good morning, Joanne. Oh, and she is, I haven't read the novel. Have you read the novel? She's author of a powerful anti-war novel. Her 1889 book, Lay Down Your Arms, became an international bestseller and helped people understand the human cost of war. I think everybody should read that. Lay Down Your Arms. That's one for the bookshelf. All right. I'm looking at her, and of course I don't have a color photo of her. I need to like put down clean paper on my desk as well. So I'm going to mix up, today I'm actually going to mix up a light skin tone first and then go into my darks, because there is, when you squint your eyes, you can see there's a lot of light on her face. Nobody's read the book, Lay Down Your Arms. Joanne, not even Joanne. I can't even start to think what it was like for a woman back then to stand up for her rights and what she believed, and to, you know, to put it out there how much these leaders were spending in war back in 1905. Joanne says, I'm a polemologist. Okay, can you tell me what a polemologist is? Is that somebody? No, I'm not going to even guess. You can tell me. Because one, I can't look it up while I am drawing. Maybe somebody else can tell us what a polemologist is. Yes, we knew, I did know that. Oh, whilst I'm painting. What did I say? Michelle. Joanne said, I studied war and peace conflicts. I think we should have like a lesson from Joanne in history, our group in war and peace. Okay, I've done her face too big. This is where the whole circle thing would really come in handy. I'm going to use some paper just to, let's see what I'm gonna do. I need to block off certain areas, because if it was a circle, I have to fit that in. So I'm going to do a square for now, but that's going to help me, I think, because she has her hat here. So this is going to be, yeah, it's probably all going to change. Oh, you said while I'm drawing, while you are drawing. Oh, what? Oh, see, I don't even, yeah. You brought that to my attention, and I don't think I even think about it. Well, I don't think about it, obviously. Let's get some purple on this. So you probably know a lot about Bertha, Joanne. Oh, Joanne says, so that's quite a realistic approach. Okay, so yes, it's realistic, but do you think back then, at the beginning of the 1900s, it was a realistic approach for a lady to out basically men who are at war, or who start wars, or who start conflicts? Like, is that something that, I mean, yeah, I'm not saying it's a woman because it's a woman, but for her to actually stand up to it back then, I'm sure a lot of women have their own thoughts, and I don't doubt that, and I don't doubt that women are smart or not smart at all, because I know that we are smart, but I feel like back then for her to have done that was great, and kind of a revolutionary move to put a book out there as well. See, you're just speaking a whole lot of jargon, that like war jargon probably, that a lot of people know. If I was to say to my husband, I know a lot about conflicts, ICBMs, MIRVs, and CEPs, he'd go, oh, cool. And I'd go, what are ICBMs and MIRVs and CEPs? Good morning, Nanette. Hey, Nanette, you're back. How are you? Did you have a good trip? Okay, I'm going to just block in the whole shape of her face, and then we'll go from there. I was trying to look at just that lights, but that doesn't always work, especially when I need to just get the shape down first. Hey Reb, good morning. How are you? We were talking about Bertha, and then Joanne was telling us how that's basically what she studied. She studied war, conflicts, and peace. War and peace conflicts in her career. And she was saying what she studied, and I said, well, I feel quite ignorant in that sector, and I guess it doesn't help growing up where we grew up. So, you know, we grew up probably in a bubble compared to a lot of people, although it's, you know, parents experienced World War II, and you know, they were born during World War II, and maybe not so much my mom because she was from Sweden, but my dad, yes, definitely. And I mean, they were taken over by Germany for a short period. So, you know, they experienced everything from poverty and moving around and being quiet, and just, I don't know how much he remembers, but he remembers, you know, his parents talking about it a lot. So I think probably after that, you just want a better life, right? So we were talking about how Bertha, who I'm painting today, Von Suttner, she wrote the book, Lay Down Your Arms. So you've read it, Joanne? Oh. Joanne says, but she was quite a strong character. Nanette says, I'm good, still on vacation, just up early, 6 a.m. here. Oh, thanks for joining. Reb says, I had to look that up, and Google kept changing the word to other ologists. Oh, really? I wonder why they changed the word. Oh, you didn't read the book? Now, do you think because she wrote it back then, it doesn't have much relevance to how our world is right now, Joanne? I'm not going to get her headdress in. I wonder if there's any of her without this head thingy in. Probably. Um, so another interesting fact is that she was the founder of the Austrian Peace Society, and she founded the Austrian Peace Society in 1891 and became a major leader in the international peace movement. I do want to do some current day peacemakers as well. If you guys have any suggestions, please let me know. Who would you consider a current day peacemaker? Tomorrow I'm doing Nelson Mandela. I know he passed in 2013, but I think he's definitely more relevant and current. But anyone who is up there right now advocating for peace, if you have anybody, please let me know. Okay, so she's got like white hair, so I'm not sure if it is, all this is grey. I think it probably is grey, so I may have to come in with a little bit more grey blue colour. An easy way to get grey is just to make sure your purple that you're mixing with your yellow is quite blue. And there is a little bit of a fine line between the yellow turning the blue purpley, but you'll kind of pick up that when to stop. And if it goes too far, then just add a little bit more of your magenta in there. Joanne says, she didn't read the book, but she was an important member of the women's movement. Joanne said, no, I read a lot of 19th century works, but not hers, although I know her thoughts about war and peace and the role of women's rights. That's why I mentioned Cartini. When did you mention Cartini? Was that the other day? My apologies if I don't remember the names, and I probably wrote it down. I'm going to write it down again. Najas Nohamadi. Oh, above. Okay, I missed that one. Let me see. Okay, I only saw Cartini, the one right now when you said it. I think some comments don't get posted for some reason. Narges Mohammadi. I'm going to look those two up. Please do not paint the one person who thinks he's the world. Oh gosh. You obviously do not know what I feel about that orange vomit. Yeah, you won't have any problems in that. LOL, Susan. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go more grays with her hair. I will look both Narges is that how you say it? Narges Mohammadi up, and also Kartini. Does Kartini have a first name, or it doesn't really matter? It'll come up. Thank you, Joanne. Shar, I think this is this series should be a book, please. Well, I think I would need some help, maybe from Joanne. Maybe Joanne could write it and I could illustrate it. Ooh, Joanne, do you want a project? What do you think? Joanne, do you have a book in you? I would love to illustrate something like this. Or even like a postcard series. Wouldn't that be sweet? A little postcard series, 100 Peacemakers. Just like the Pantone one. No, I'm not writing at the moment. Okay, maybe you can speak. And I did share of publishing. Oh, you did your share of publishing. Yeah, so I know that you wrote a lot. Is your publishing, is it written in Dutch, or is it written in English? Like, basically, can other people read it? Like, or is it top secret? Dutch, English, and German. Anybody wants to read some of Joanne's published works? Okay, I'm just going to put little dots where I know I need to have. You know, sometimes a soft face like this is harder than something like yesterday, which was definitely more stern and high contrast. See, I've got the eye too high up. I need to move that down. And I'll move her jaw down. Yes, Joanne. Joanne says, and another life, not so interesting for here, I guess. Well, it is interesting, but I guess it's what you put your eggs in, what basket, right? Like I think you dedicated your life to that, and it's super interesting. Like, for sure, for a lot of people who have studied history and who are totally you know, I wish I could indulge in all that, but quite honestly, it makes my brain ache, and it ups my anxiety, and like, I don't like thinking about war. I don't like talking about war, really. That's why I chose 100 Peacemakers, because I'm like, okay, I can talk about this side and paint this side rather than talking about the other side. Like, it stresses me out completely. So that's, you know, I don't like conflict, and so I don't study it. I don't indulge in reading about it. I don't enjoy, yeah. even just talking about it now just makes my blood boil a little bit, and I just don't like it. Michelle says Stevie Wonder is a peacemaker, and his birthday is May 13th. C says, oh my God, I want to read. And Joanne says, totally understand. Yeah, I think, you know, like I find it extremely interesting. My husband is, he loves history, and we had an incredible history lesson from him, my friend and I, when we were in Tulum. You know, and he just touched the surface, and we were sitting there for 3 hours questioning him. And I think it also depends on how people go about telling it. Like also when my dad is speaking about history, it's very interesting. I can't just read it. I can't, one, because I don't want it in my brain in that way. Like it just becomes too, well, I mean, it is real. So, but yeah. I just want to know that everyone is okay. That's me. Pema Chodron. Okay, I don't have my other book here, so I'm writing them on a piece of paper. And Stevie Wonder, I guess he is a peacemaker in his own right, because he writes beautiful, peaceful songs, for sure. I'm sure my list is going to change a little bit as we go forward. Yeah, I'm kind of pulling out the big guns right now, but I'm sure it'll change and become a little less obvious, maybe. Nanette says she's an American Buddhist nun. I'd like to do one of the Buddhist. Actually, they're not Buddhists. The monks who walked in the Walk for Peace. Somebody else said that they were Buddhist, but they're not Buddhist. These guys are traveling monks, and they're very different to the Buddhist monks. They all have very similar beliefs, but these ones were not Buddhist monks, the ones that did the Walk for Peace. But yeah, I'd like to do, what's his name? The guy who led the walk. Nanette, say more. I'm not familiar with that name. And Joanne says, yes, perhaps when your family suffered in World War II, bombardments and camps, then it's different. Yeah, I feel like, well, and my grandfather, he was a Danish police officer, so he had to comply, which was really hard, right? So if you feel like when you get taken over by another country, you don't have any options. And so it was either being killed or complying with what they, so he had to act as an officer but under another rule. So I think it was very hard. It was very hard for them. They didn't get put in camps, but it could have been because he was working for the authorities as well. And then they were on rations, like for years. They, you know, they had ration, they had stamps where that was how they survived. Oh yeah, and along the lines of Stevie Wonder, John Lennon, that's true. Tammy says, Sharon K. Penman wrote amazing series of historical novels, actually got me interested in learning more about actual history. And then that says, I'm enjoying learning through historical novels. Okay, just got to get some more light on her face. And I think I can actually take her brow up a little bit, so I'm going to do that. Changing the shape of her face. Sharon K. Penman. I'm going to look up her as well. I guess if she has a lot of novels. In England, it's hard as well. Like, so we, and kind of over here in Canada too, if you're not interested in history in school, you take it as a general subject until you are 13 in England, and here you have to take history once in high school. But if you're not interested in it, like back, you know, when you're a teenager or when you're younger, like if that's not your stream of interest, you don't take it again. So after 13, I went more the route of languages and art, and design. And, you know, my kids went, well, the one went science, so she didn't continue history after that year. I think my husband did history all the way through high school. And yeah, so it's, you know, if that's not your interest as a young kid, and it's not something that you read naturally, like it's not, then it's later on in life that you become interested in it. I don't know. Nanette said, Pema brought Buddhism to the US. She has many books about being peaceful inside and living a peaceful life. And Susan says, Thich Nhat Hanh is a Zen Buddhist teacher and writer and peacemaker. How can I wonder if this chat is saved. Do I have to like do anything? If Hippo was here, she could let me know. Oh, you can turn on timestamps. That's cool. If I turn on timestamps, does that mean that we can see it. Oh, maybe that would be good. Yeah, we'll do that. And Tammy says when Christ and his saints slept was the first one I read. Okay. And Joanne said, you had Rosemary Sutcliffe. I read everything as a child, historical novels for children and young adults. I can imagine, Joanne. I can imagine you did. I'm trying to write these down just in case they disappear. Thank you, Nanette. Nanette says, give a thumbs up, everyone. Oh my goodness, I'm really slow with this one. I think, well, I've been enjoying the conversation with you guys, but my portrait is suffering. And I love, Joanne, that you dedicated your life to that. I know that it was probably really hard and not easy to do, but yeah, great. It was fun. I'm really happy to know you that you did that. And pleased that you're finding a little bit of peace in art and you making art. Like, I love that too. And thank you for all your suggestions, everybody. I think I've done this eye too far over. I'm going to scrub it. And I can only do that because it's like it's not dry yet. That's the good thing about acrylics, is you can do that. Scott says late, but we will rewatch. Hello all. Hi, Scott. And Tammy says you're welcome. I'm going to look up Rosemary Sutcliffe. And C said, thank you, Susan. I'm writing all of these names down. Yes. This was a great morning session. I appreciate all your input and your comments, and it's I mean, we can't, it's we can't ignore what's going on in the world, but we can give importance to people who are doing great things. And I feel like this whole series is for those people. And then maybe it'll inspire people to do better things in their life as well. My nose is not quite right. I have to play with that. She has not got an easy face to draw. Let's just put it that way. Not an easy face at all. And maybe it would have been easier to sketch it out, but I do try to just look at shapes and value. Oh, it's Thursday today, and I believe that Melissa Martin is back for Art Hang Party. I think she said that she was going to be back. She may be a little bit jet lagged. She was just in Japan, but I believe that she is back for Art Hang Party. I will share the link to Art Hang Party in my Instagram. It's basically, if you look up Melissa Martin here on YouTube, you can find her. You can find her. And if you want to go to other people on YouTube who are in our group, who have videos and who are doing the 100-Day Project as well, I believe Reb, you have been sharing, and I don't think Hippo is on here today, but Hippo has her lives on, because we're not going to be here tomorrow, we'll be on Zoom. But Hippo has her live on Sunday at 12. I was gonna do another world session this weekend, but I don't think I've received any more photos from people, so I won't be doing that. We had a session yesterday from Oaxaca. If you didn't get that, that is going back in the Padlet. If you didn't get that, I will be updating. Oh, and let's just quickly talk about March, because March is just around the corner. Actually, we'll have started March before, before next Tuesday. So March is Mind and Memory in our BSA club, and C had a great idea, which I think I'm going to run with too, if you're okay with that, C, of doing shoes every day and the story behind shoes that you have had in your life. So Mind and Memory. Mind, you will, if you don't have a picture of them, maybe you need to use your either mind to remember them or mind to chat about them and tell us the story. Basically, it's telling stories of something that you remember, and if you can make it into a series, then that would be even better. I know it's a little bit abstract. We chatted about it. I love the shoe idea because I feel like there are shoes that tell stories. We get some people get attached to shoes. I get attached to shoes. I know that a lot of my shoes can tell stories. So whether it's when I bought them or what I wore them to, it's almost like a dinner. That could be another one too. Recipes. Oh, and historical shoes. Yeah, Joanne, that could be something as well. The shoes of Louis the 14th. Uh-huh. And we did a whole shoe session as well, which I think was wonderful, from the Bata Shoe Museum. So if you guys haven't seen that, you could do that. It could be your grandma's shoes. It could be your kids' shoes that maybe, you know, bought. I remember buying no, I didn't buy her. My mom bought her these beautiful leather boots for Christmas one year in England, and she wore them like, you know, she wore them all through March to September, and obviously her feet grew and she couldn't fit them the next year. She was devastated. Those were her shoes, her boots. She loved her boots. So, you know, like little things like that, just bringing up memories of certain situations. But yeah, I like the historical shoes as well. Michelle said, my mom used to say some of her old shoes were her friends. I say it now, and my kids are like, Mom. I do have a couple of pair of shoes which I have kept and they have broken, but I feel so bad just getting rid of them, because I'm like, I really love these shoes. I don't want to get rid of them, but they need a big overhaul, big fix. And I'm sure some shoemaker could fix them, so that's why they're not disappearing yet. Anyway, so whether it be shoes for mind and memory, whether it be recipes, food dishes, like that is also something that really interests me. A month of food and recipes, things that bring back really vivid memories, places you've eaten, family recipes that you want to celebrate, things, who you were with, stories of that. So mind and memory is our month of March. So I hope you will join us. If you are new here and you want to join us, you can go to my BSA club, which is my Substack newsletter. The link is in my description here, and we meet, well, a lot of people come to these lives and they are free, but we meet on Mondays and Fridays in Zoom and we chat about and do work. So it's like a co-working session. Yeah, I haven't done anything with the background. What shall I do with the background? Maybe I'll just, oh, I can't leave it plain. Maybe I'll do stripes. I think stripes, and everybody thinks of doing stripes one way. Maybe I'll do them the other way. Susan said, maybe consider shoes and handbags. They kind of go hand in hand. They do kind of go hand in hand, although I've never been a matchy-matchy person. So some people do get a handbag for every shoe that they get, or a pair of shoes. Tammy says, I have a pair of Converse that I wore a hole in the bottom and I can't bear to get rid of them. Oh my gosh, that kind of sounds like these loafers that I have. Teresa says, oh boy, I gave so many shoes away. Well, like I have given a lot of shoes away, but there are a couple that I have not given away. So C says, Tammy, often shoes become partners. Oh, planters for flowers. Could you bear to do that? Succulents seem to love shoes. Ooh, that's such a good idea. Michelle says, the shoe cobbler on our main street is a genius. Really? Do you think he would be able to fix my shoes? I should probably just look and see. The thing is, okay, so they're a woven leather loafer. The soles are leather and the top is a woven leather. So I'm not sure if they could fix that. Like the woven leather needs fixing, and the sole. The sole they could probably do, but I'm not sure what they would do with the woven part. I guess I would just need to take them to see if they could. I can't find any as good. I've bought maybe 4 pairs of loafers since then, and they just don't feel the same. Patch on a hole of a shoe. Patch on a hole of a shoe. Like put a patch on the hole? I don't think I could do that. Like not on that loafer anyway. I'm gonna give her light eyes. I feel like she has green eyes. I don't know what color eyes she had. I'm gonna be staying on here for another 10 minutes because I really do want to finish this portrait. So if you want to stay, you can stay. If you have to go, thank you for joining. Make sure you give me a thumbs up, and if you're not subscribed, subscribe. Tammy says, I wish I could resole my Converse. Maybe Converse will take them back and resole them. Tammy? Jamie, hi. All these portraits could also be considered for the 100 head challenge. Oh yes, when is that? But that would take me a whole lot of time. When is the 100 head challenge? Right now? C says embroidery on shoe. Yeah, but I don't think embroidery on the sole would help though, see? Oh, you mean that could be the project? That you could embroider, like do embroidery on a shoe? Yeah. I'm not very good with like those really thick, like my hands are not strong enough anymore for those really thick canvases and things like that. But it would be nice to do that. It's a good idea. I'm really, okay, so I love the shoe idea, but I also love the food idea. But the shoes, I could have them here. Like, so, okay, so here's my dilemma. I'm doing a 100-day project, which, as you can see, takes up a good portion, basically a whole hour every morning. With the shoes and the mind and memory of March, I still want to do it, but I would limit myself to like 10 minutes. So I could bring my shoes and do shoes and do that for 10 minutes. I think we've done that before with other things where we have like a limited time, if anybody is wanting to do that, because I do enjoy doing these portraits with you guys. Or I just get up an extra hour early and do portraits before I come down. What would you prefer to see? 10 minutes of shoes and more portraits, or the whole thing of shoes, like the whole hour of shoes? I don't know if I want to do the whole hour of shoes or the recipes, but I'm not sure. I'm enjoying doing the portraits slowly and talking about the 100-day project people as well. So maybe we can do both. Maybe I can do 10 minutes of portrait. I mean, no, not 10 minutes. 10 minutes of shoes and just give you a quick recap of, or quick story of where they came from, etc. And then focus more on the 100-day project. Anna, what do you think? What does everyone think? Because, you know, March is, we need a session this weekend to chat a little bit more about March and also get started. So maybe on, oh, what was happening on Sunday? Something's happening on Sunday. Okay, I'm going to think, because we could do a session to get started for March, and it does start on Sunday. So let me just look at my schedule, see what's happening, and then perhaps we could do that. I mean, so here's the thing. If you can gather, if you are doing the shoes in Mind and Memory for March, if you can gather photos, I'll set up a Padlet for Mind and Memory, and this will help you put in all your photos, whatever you're going to do for Mind and Memory. And then you have a place just to dump your stuff. We can have a look what you're doing as well. Sounds like I'm just speaking to one person, but I know that a lot of you want to do this. So I'll create that Padlet so that you can populate it with your things, and it'll be nice to see everybody's work. Right? Right. Joanne said, great idea. Okay. Tammy says, is this a gouache palette? I think I heard you say it's only 3 colors. It's only 3 colors. It's acrylics actually, but it's they are a mix between the My Mary and acrylic gouache and acrylics. So they're acrylics, but they're flat. Jamie says it's anytime. I just mean that these could be dual purposed. Oh yes, thank you, Jamie. Susan says it's great to start the day with so many creative thinkers. I think so too, Susan. And she says, you mentioned in canvas, I misunderstood. I thought you meant the top of the shoe. And Joanne says limited times. Yes, limited times I think would be good. I'm thinking a separate month of shoes and our story. Yeah. Well, that could be Mind and Memory for March. And Amy says, shoes are a great month project. 10 minutes, good. Okay, sounds good. And recipes sounds good, and maybe a few shoes. Yeah, just things that come up, I guess. Maybe the shoes have a food recipe memory as well. Maybe they're shoes you wore to the restaurant that you had a delicious meal at. Tammy says, I love the 100-day project, but it does impact what else you are able to accomplish in a day. I love watching the portraits. And Teresa says, yes, portraits and a couple of minutes of Mind and Memory. I love these portraits. And Nanette says, portraits live. Okay, and Tammy, 10-minute shoes is my vote, and continue portraits. Okay, sounds good. Is there a shoe session somewhere that the BSA has done? Yes, there is, and I will send that. I'll put that in the post that I'm going to do, and I'll put the new Padlet for you guys. And yeah, and her face is looking very pink. dear, oh dear, oh dear. She needs a little bit of yellow in her face. It's very pink. C says, I don't have photos of my shoes, which is why you can do Google searches of what they were. Maybe something will come up. Or just go from memory, which is the whole idea of the mind and memory. So I think you'll be fine, C. You could even just, if anything, you could just, in the Padlet, open up like a new one and say, like, open up your column and just write. You could write a little bit about it maybe instead of drawing the picture. I know that you like writing, so that could be, and maybe it's just an abstract piece. Maybe it's an abstract image and then something that's written about it. I think that would be nice too. Okay, so that side of her face is darker, but doesn't need to be that dark. It's always good to come back and adjust your colors a little bit. After you've blocked in the main shapes and everything, you'll probably see where the adjustments need to happen so that it's not, because really those darks, they change a face so dramatically. And this is the whole tiny portrait is not easy because you put a color down and it can change the shape again. I think this distance is too close. I'm not sure if I can change it. Maybe I can change it. Maybe it's enough just to bring her nose down slightly. Susan says, thinking ahead, any chance for a repeat of abstract landscapes for April? Love that theme from last year. I mean, it could happen. Okay, shall I tell you what I have in place for April? April I have April's awareness for April. Now, I guess that could be anything. Like I've got a whole bunch of like titles for the months because I like chatting with you guys and deciding on what we're going to do. But April's awareness could be anything from color, right? How you see colors. So maybe you become more aware of shapes and color for April. So we could do a whole month of like, I do like the fact that we have the same image to work from, but we're doing different things with it. So maybe that's something that we could think about. But yeah, that could definitely work, Susan. I think that's a great idea. April awareness, and yeah, we can focus on abstraction, color. Teresa says, I will find some similar type of shoes on the internet. I used to love going to the shoe store like Macy's and Saks. I may try and find some pictures. That's a great idea. And you know, maybe you could use different materials for it. So maybe we could do a different medium every day for the shoes, if like for mind and memory. So I could set a different medium every day. I'm sure you have different mediums, or it could just, I could do like every week. It could be watercolor, gouache, acrylic, pencil, pen, and then mixed media. And then each day you see me working with different stuff, and you guys work in different things, so that it just, you know, it brings your expression out in different ways, and you start to maybe think about using different mediums. It could be markers, it could be, I think we did that one month, and that was fun because, you know, you had to comply with the different mediums, and I know it probably gets really messy in your studio, but then you're not just sticking with one specific medium. Or you can do 30 days of shoes in one medium. That's also, you can do that. You can do whatever you want. Scott says, I like the mixed media. And Tammy says, will that paint peel off so you can clean the palette? I just got one of those palettes and I'm trying to decide what to put in it. Okay, so I need to dig at this. I think I can clean it off. When it was gouache, it was easy to clean off, but because it is, because it's acrylics, it's not that easy to clean off. I'm not worrying too much about it because I have this, Tammy. I just put this over the top and make sure it's very much sealed so that I don't, so that I'm not letting air into the paints. And this way at least they are safe. She looks concerned, doesn't she? I'm sure with her thoughts and everything, she was probably very concerned. Okay, this one I need to change. Yes, it is a great palette for limiting. Like I don't know. I am very much over. Like I like having different colors for backgrounds. That really helps me. But like when it comes to things like portraits, I do like mixing because I feel like you dig deeper into. Oh, I mean, this isn't color. I'm just trying to like look at the values and that and think, oh, okay, what color would that be? Would that be more of like a purple tone? Would that be more of a like a pinky, or yellow, or a peach? I really think I'm going to stop soon because I don't want to work too much over it. Oops. All right. It may not look exactly like her, but I have enjoyed working on her, and thank you for a lovely morning, everybody. I really enjoyed chatting with you, and thank you for all your suggestions of peacemakers. Yes, see you tomorrow. We'll be on Zoom. Thank you. Tomorrow is, oh, and don't forget, there's Art Hang Party tonight, and there's also the Visual Arts Passage Drawing Hive. If you don't know about them, have a look at them because more portraits for them. Take care, everybody. Have a really good day, and thank you. You are very welcome. Thank you. Bye, everyone.